In our first lecture relating to live-in relationship, we have discussed some portions and the remaining portions regarding live-in relationship here we would like to discuss in particularly legality and the rights of women in live-in relationship. In that context, we will discuss some provisions of the statute like section 125 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, section 114 of the Indian Evidence Act, section 16 of Hindu Marriage Act, section 26 of the Special Marriage Act, and in particularly right to a visa in that particular important landmark judgment that was Shiva Talana Kajanki now versus Union of India in the year 2015. And finally, we will make the conclusion regarding the position of live-in relationship and the legality and rights of women in India. Live-in relationships are not illegal in India as there are no laws that explicitly address such relationship in the country. But the Supreme Court has broadened the concept through different judgments and certain regulations to bear in mind while handling such matters. Live-in relationships have slowly grown and become more prevalent in the Indian society. Couples often choose to spend some time together to check their compatibility before entering into a marital bond. Considering couples in live-in relationship can choose to separate without the state's intervention. It is quite often deemed as an excellent option to evaluate the potential relationship between two individuals. Besides, in a country where separation and divorce are so frowned upon, people prefer to make more well informed decisions about their marriage by spending time in a live-in relationship than having to bear the society's backlash for separating after marriage. Live-in relationships are not illegal in India as there are no laws that explicitly address such relationship in the country. As such, Supreme Court has broadened the very concept of live-in relationship through different judgments and has laid down certain regulations that must be kept in mind when handling such matters. So, in that connection, we would like to discuss some of the key judgments delivered by the Supreme Court, which would help us to understand the exact position of live-in relationship in India. So, among those, the first case that was of 1978 relating to Badri Prasad versus Deputy Director of Consolidation, the Supreme Court ruled that live-in relationship between two consenting adults shall be considered legal if key requirements of marriage like legal age, consent, having a sound mind, etc., are fulfilled. It added that no rule permits a couple from doing so in the country. This was the first ruling where the apex court of India deemed live-in relationship to be legal in India. and in 2013 in Indra Sharma versus BKV Sharma, where in this case the Supreme Court defined certain key factors that must be kept in mind when determining whether a live-in relationship falls under the scope of relationship in the nature of the marriage under the Act. And again in 2006 in Lata Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh, the apex court stated that although considered unethical, live-in relationships are not illegal under Indian laws. In 2010 in S. Khushbu versus Kanyamala and another, the apex court held that living together was protected by Article 21 of Indian Constitution, which grants everyone the right to life and personal liberty. Thus, although unethical by society standards, live-in relationships are not illegal in India. So, also in another important landmark judgment, that is Avijit Bikaset Atu, Ati versus State of Maharashtra, and another in 2009, the Supreme Court held that under Section 125 of the Code of Criminal Procedure of 1973, a woman is not mandated to prove or marriage to seek maintenance. This judgment also showcased the judicial system's liberal and contemporary stance. A similar judgment was passed previously in the year 1978 in the leading case Badri Prasad versus Deputy Director of Consolidation, and also in 1993 in SP Balasubramaniam versus Shrutayan, where the apex court held if a man and a woman have been living together for a long period of time, they shall be considered legally married until they prove that they are not. A child born from such relationships shall have the right to inherit their parents' asset. And in Ajay Bharadwaj versus Josnai in 2016, as per the judgment delivered, Section 125 of the Criminal Procedure Code of 1973 was instituted to safeguard a wife, minor, children, old parents from being homeless and facing destitution. The same was extended through the judiciary's interpretation to the partners in live-in relationship as well. So, in 2003, as according to the recommendations of Justice Malimath Committee report and several other judgments that followed, a female that has been in relationship for a significant period should have the same privilege, just as a spouse, and can claim maintenance under Section 125 of the Criminal Procedure Code. As per Section 114 of the Indian Evidence Act 1872, courts may presume the existence of any fact that it thinks is likely to have happened with respect to the usual process of natural events, human conduct, as well as public and private business in relation to some facts of a specific case. As such, when a man and woman live together for a long period of time as a couple, they may be assumed and presumed to be married. So, in that connection, we would like to discuss when a child born from void or voidable marriages are deemed legal under Section 16 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955 and Section 26 of the Special Marriage Act 1954. Such children are only eligible to inherit their parents' properties. They don't have any joint ownership rights in the assets of Hindu undivided coercionary property, are therefore not eligible to claim any rights on the ancestral property of their parents. So, children born from live-in relationship were deemed to be legally valid in the matter that was decided in S.V.S. Balasubramaniam versus Surtayan as the apex court expressed. If a couple resides in the same house for a significant amount of time, it shall be presumed under Section 114 of Indian Evidence Act 1872 that they are married. As such, their child shall be considered legitimate and be eligible to inherit a part of the parent's asset. So the Supreme Court in another important landmark judgment, that is Bharata Matha versus Vijay Ranganathan in 2010, expressed that deemed children born from live-in relationship to be eligible to inherit their parents' property. It held that a child born from such relationship cannot be deemed illegal if the relationship has lasted for a significant period. And now we would like to discuss another important aspect relating to legality and rights of women in live-in relationship, and that is relating to right to visa in a live-in relationship. So the apex court or the Supreme Court of India, while hearing the case of Siviltana Kazankina versus Union of India in 2015, addressed the request of permitting an Uzbekistan national who was in a live-in relationship with an Indian man to extend her visa. The respondent stated that the visa extension was denied, as such extensions are only granted on certificates of marriage and not in case of live-in relationship. The apex court highlighted that regulations that permit foreign nationals married in India to extend visa were let down with the aim that such couples would be able to enjoy friendship, love, and devotion. It added that live-in relations should not be denied visa extension as they have become a part of life's reality as well. And now we would like to conclude our second part relating to legality and rights of women in live-in relationship. Live-in relationships are not illegal in India. Individuals in such relationships are allowed to do whatever they want and live however they feel is best, subject only to the fact that their actions do not harm others anyhow. So, live-in relationship in India is not illegal as per the various judgments delivered by the Apex Court or the Supreme Court of India. So, live-in relationship in India are legal, not illegal, and the couples and spouses in live-in relationship, in particularly the women, enjoy the rights those were vested under various statutes such as the Criminal Procedure Code of 1973, the Indian Evidence Act 1872, the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, the Special Marriage Act 1954. So, these are the relevant issues that we have discussed in connection to the second part that we have now discussed relating to the legality of live-in relationship in India and the rights of women in live-in relationship in context to the judgments delivered by the Apex Court of India or the Supreme Court of India.